Your modern car might be hiding a ticking time bomb. From glitchy start-stop systems to touchscreen-only climate controls, hidden upgrades can fry your engine, destroy your transmission, leave you stranded, and slash resale value. What's even more upsetting is the fact that you might not even see it coming until it's too late. Let's begin with the start-stop systems. A lot of vehicle manufacturers have integrated these systems to save fuel by shutting off the engine when the vehicle is either in a traffic jam or is at a red light, and then restarting once the light turns green. To your everyman, this might seem like next-level innovation. However, all that continued starting and stopping can accelerate starter motor wear and place excessive strain on the battery over time. Additionally, if oil pressure is marginal during each restart, the engine is bound to receive less lubrication than required. This further increases internal wear and reduces the overall lifespan of your vehicle. Next up, we've got cylinder deactivation. Now here, automakers temporarily disable select cylinders in an effort to enhance fuel economy during steady cruising. Now, in theory, this might seem cost-efficient and effective. But what these manufacturers don't tell you is that frequently activating and deactivating these cylinders could easily lead to lifter failure, uneven wear, and even misfires. The end result, premature engine degradation and costly repairs, could easily set you back thousands of bucks. Another smart engine technology that you might need to know about is direct injection technology. Now this works by spraying fuel directly into the combustion chamber, thus providing enhanced power and efficiency. But there's a catch. During this process, the fuel bypasses the intake valves, causing carbon deposits to accumulate rapidly. Now this results in rough riding, misfires, and ironically, diminished performance. Now the good news is that the issue can be resolved. The bad news is that it's both time consuming and could easily eat up $2,000 depending on the extent of the damage to the engine. Moving on, we've got the low-tension piston rings, which are primarily designed to help reduce internal friction and increase fuel efficiency. Now the caveat here is that the reduced sealant capability provides room for oil to escape into the combustion chamber, resulting in high oil consumption and potential damage to the engine well before the expected maintenance intervals. In some cases, these piston rings have been the sole reason why some car owners have been forced to complete engine rebuilds, a process that dents the wallet significantly. Apart from low-tension piston rings, we also can't overlook the danger posed by plastic engine components and electric water pumps. Modern engine manufacturers have a tendency to increasingly incorporate plastic components into the engine. We're talking about coolant tanks, intake manifolds, even oil pans. They argue that using plastic materials makes the engine lightweight and also enhances the cost efficiency aspect, which also trickles down to the final buyer. Are they solid reasons? Sure, but it's important to note that these parts are prone to cracking or warping under heat and stress, sometimes leading to catastrophic engine failure. Not to forget that a plastic electric water pump can even fail silently without giving a warning, halting coolant circulation and causing rapid overheating. By the time the effects are visible, the owner would already be thousands of dollars deep into repair charges. Now the risk doesn't stop at smart engine technology. Instead, it also spills over to over-engineered controls that are often marketed for convenience, efficiency, or style. In this category, we first need to highlight the electronic gear selectors, those fancy push buttons, rotary dials, or electronic toggles that are gradually replacing the legacy mechanical lever. Sure, they might be eye-catching and even help achieve that clutter-free look in your vehicle, but the absence of a direct mechanical linkage offered by the traditional lever introduces a lot of failure points. For instance, in April 2025, Volkswagen Group recalled about 60,500 Volkswagen and Audi vehicles. The issue? The instrument cluster could fail to display the neutral gear position, thus increasing the risk that a driver might think the vehicle was in park when it wasn't. This shortcoming significantly increased rollaway risk. Just imagine the tragic outcomes that could come out of such an incident. And you start to understand why just these over-engineered consoles are starting to raise eyebrows. Electronic parking brakes have also gained popularity, but could also be associated with certain risks. Automakers argue that they're safer and also take up smaller spaces, since they utilize small electric motors and the calipers controlled by software modules. And yet, they're prone to failure in the event of a failure in the control circuitry or the battery depletion. Repairing these systems often involves labor-intensive work, and component replacement could easily exceed $1,500. This trade-off between perceived convenience and mechanical reliability means that what's marketed as a modern, space-saving innovation can quickly become a costly liability, one that might leave drivers stranded or facing unexpected repairs when the system fails. Another control system that we need to talk about is a touchscreen-only climate control, which replaces tactile knobs and switches. These controls are visibly clean but have a serious downside. They tend to introduce a significant distraction risk during driving, as drivers might end up focusing more on the interface rather than on the road. But that's not all. These controls are prone to software glitches or a frozen screen that can leave vehicle occupants without heat, defrost, or air conditioning at critical moments, creating both safety and comfort hazards. We can all agree that nothing exemplifies advanced drivetrain technology better than dual-clutch transmissions. In simple terms, these are two clutches that preload gears for rapid and more efficient driving. Now, definitely this enhances the overall driving experience, especially when the car in question is performance-oriented. But the downside to the double clutch is that they're highly sensitive to software calibration, low-speed torque management, and fluid temperatures. When it comes to daily driving, this can easily lead to jerky engagement, hesitation, and lazy picking, or even premature clutch wear, all these culminating in costly repairs. Some manufacturers like Hyundai, Honda, and Ford have acknowledged that their DCTs are faulty and have even recalled thousands of vehicles. On the other hand, BMW has already announced the decision to drop DCTs in favor of torque converter automatics in its M Division performance models. These are seen as the strongest indicators yet that conventional automatic systems might still be superior. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time, because what comes next will reveal even more hidden pitfalls quietly sabotaging your car. Essentially, variable charging systems are designed to optimize the alternator's workload. On paper, this sounds really efficient, but in practice, they can leave the battery undercharged during critical conditions, stressing electronics and shortening its lifespan. Likewise, over-the-air software updates are deemed pertinent due to the ability to offer convenience. Yet when they go sideways, they could disable safety features, corrupt drive mode logic, or outright immobilize the vehicle. Now, these failures might be rare, but manufacturers and regulators are increasingly documenting them across multiple brands. And one thing a lot of people aren't talking about are the astronomical costs that come with repairing these systems. Now on to one of the most important parts of a vehicle, the steering wheel. Today's wheels often host 15 or more buttons, touchpads, and toggles designed for convenience and quick access. As usual, automakers might argue that these are aimed at enhancing the driving experience by helping the driver focus on the road without necessarily moving to reach out to faraway buttons. What they don't say is that this concentration puts immense stress on the clock spring assembly. When this part fails, airbags can become inoperative. The horn may stop working, and in some instances, entire control modules can go offline. Repairs are pricey and time-intensive, but they're also challenging and can cost upwards of $1,000. These technologies are marketed as innovative and convenient, yet without proper awareness and maintenance, they can quietly undermine your vehicle's longevity. Understanding them is the first step toward protecting your investment. Remember to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on our latest videos, and we'll see you at the next one.